The Gemini new moon was a few days ago on the 26th on the East Coast, USA, 27th if you're in the West Coast. And Gemini energy is characterized for a desire for information and social interaction. So opening up this new moon as a time for seeding new ideas and conversations. But something you may not know is that while Mercury is very powerful in Gemini in its own sign for the next week, it's actually and also it was the ruler of the new moon, conjunct the new moon. So very strong Mercury energy, right? But Mercury is actually under the beams, combust. So it had its morning set on May 23rd, the day, and then the next day, May 24th, is when it conjoined with Uranus. So I hope you had some breakthrough there. It was in the sign of Taurus, which is beauty. I actually was at the beach, and we found this awesome beach club there at that moment, and it was kind of unforeseen, right? Like I didn't even realize that was going on then, but that's how it manifested for me, because Taurus is the sign of beauty. But so with this morning set and it being under the beams, meaning and magic can become a little bit, and things in general can become a little bit obscure and a little bit more difficult to discern right away. Pleasures and enjoyments that take place in the dark need their own secrecy in order to take root. So it's a quiet time underground to gestate the Mercury matters. And the thing is, this is for about from its morning set, it's about 2 weeks, but from now it's about like 8 days. For the next 8 days, it's coming to light. And actually tomorrow it conjoins the sun. Mercury conjoins the sun in Gemini. But on June 6th is when Mercury rises as an evening star. So even though this is a very powerful Mercury in Gemini, and many of you might be experiencing that, this Mercury is working behind the scenes to lay the threads of future events and designs that are currently incomprehensible, but whose meaning may well emerge soon as he comes out from underneath the beam. So tomorrow when it conjoins the sun is a very powerful time in its journey, where things can all of a sudden come to you, arise in your mind. So keep definitely be aware of that. This mental recalibration with this Gemini energy because it encourages a balance between the left and right brain, fostering cohesive decision making amidst the rapid changes we're experiencing. So it's also important to stay grounded during this time. So basically, this time period is a great time for finding meaning, like Mercury under the beams in its own chariot, which, by the way, that mitigates it a little bit because it's in its own sign. It's not as adversely affected by the, being under the beams. I don't want to confuse you right now, but basically spiritual and hermetic work in general is blessed during this time if you want to take advantage of the energies. But so tomorrow, May 29th, is when Mercury at 9 Gemini conjoins with the sun and ends the cycle that began at 21 Aquarius on February 9th. So February 9th, 2025, go back on your phone or however you figure out or keep track of what you were doing on certain days. That was when Mercury last conjoined the sun. And so that cycle began in an air sign ruled by, because Aquarius is an air sign and it's ruled by Uranus or Saturn. Like Uranus and Saturn both rule Aquarius. And now it ends in another air sign ruled by Mercury, which is Gemini. So look back to see what you were doing back on February 9th. It may have been something that we took seriously back in February that has now had a chance to evolve into a hermetic substance. And I, by the way, feel free to comment about it, no matter how, feel free to comment about it below, because I'd love to hear about it. if you want. And in other news, basically, the Saturn has now gone into Aries, and it's with this new moon energy in general, it foreshadows a lot of 2026, which is next year, because this Uranus is going to be going through those degrees in Gemini. It enters this year, but I think that's something to keep in mind. And then since Saturn is now in Aries, consider your long-term goals and how to structure the new beginnings, because Saturn, it slows down that, Neptune's already there in Aries, right? But I think it's good to reflect on what you want to build over the next few years, and write it down. And Gemini energy, it always favors when you write things down, because there's so much going on in your head. So I think that also with the Saturn in Aries, there's a shift towards integrity, self-respect, personal honor. Encourages individuals to contemplate their priorities and how they align with their true selves, like what you're here to do, and your actions. You want to reflect on whether they're in alignment. The transition from Pisces to Aries represents a wake-up call in general, urging us to recognize what is ending and what new beginnings are emerging. So since we have Saturn in Aries for 3 months and it goes back into Pisces to finish up, I think that will give us a bigger perspective on what needs to go, right? So just keep that in mind. And of course, the energies of Saturn and Neptune and Aries invite individuals to be honest with themselves about their desires and to take brave steps towards new beginnings. So think of it with the Neptune and Aries providing, giving us new dreams and about what is possible. Think about Saturn going there as helping Neptune construct that ideal, because Neptune is our 5D and Saturn is 3D. But and even if Neptune is more powerful, Saturn is more practical, right? It knows how to deal with the now. So keep that in mind. And also next month is a cool month. It's Jupiter comes into Cancer, right? I know we're all overwhelmed with this Jupiter in Gemini has been really cool. I've had so many new connections, and we all kind of have had new opportunities and growth with those connections. But I think we're all kind of excited we're ready for Jupiter to go back into Cancer, go into Cancer. It's a rise in dignity, and because Jupiter in Gemini is in its detriment, and then Jupiter in Cancer is in its exaltation. It's its favorite sign. It's an exalted guest of honor when it goes into Gemini. So I'm definitely excited about that. I actually thought I had a video where I went through the past time Saturn was in Aries, the biggest news events. I had a whole thing about it, but I couldn't find it. So I might make one on that, and then also try to integrate when both that and Jupiter was in Cancer. But I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are really excited about summer. This has been an instrumental years already, and there's so much more ahead. Blessings to all.